Hello there! From behind the yellow line, this is Trammin, episode 278. My name is Kirk, and today I'm joined by my friend and Congo Queen, Freddy.
Ahoy there! Our big thunder topic of the week is Walt Disney's Adventureland, 1955.
Let's Congo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast. Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding. As a courtesy to other passengers, we ask that there be no eating, drinking, or smoking on board. In just a few moments, we will begin our trip into the Disneyland Resort news and topic of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, this tram is ready to depart. Driver, you are clear.
Welcome back to Trammin, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We're your hosts, Kirk and Freddy. What's up, Freddy?
Hey, happy to be here. Really excited to get into this topic, and I don't know how I'm going to follow up Kevin Perger being on the podcast. That's crazy.
So yeah, last week we got Defunctland on the pod. We did a DCA 1.0 episode. It went like completely differently than I thought it would, but I think in a good way.
Yeah.
I think like I always like am hard on myself. I'm like, did I write enough? But then we got into like, he's from Kansas and he had that nice perspective, which is cool. Like the LA versus Kansas perspective, all little things. We'll talk about that more, and you're right. But yeah, we had a nice time. So go listen to that. Actually, let's see how it's doing. Let's see if it's doing any
check
better.
On it, get an update.
Any better than normal? Or are people just like, surprisingly, like a lot of people are not familiar with Defunctland.
Well, and also I didn't see Kevin like post about it or anything. So it's
they
like,
don't. To be fair, they don't post about anything.
He doesn't. Yeah.
So I wasn't mad.
Project dropping. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be mad either. But it is one of those things of like over time people are going to catch that because he does so few appearances due to his workload.
Yeah.
Self-imposed.
Yeah. It was cool that like he kind of reached out and was like, "Hey, we doing this thing?" Cause
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's doing just as well as any other episode. So
yeah, nice.
I'm happy with that. We'll see how it goes long term. You can watch it on YouTube. You can't see Kevin.
No.
We can't see Kevin.
No, of course not.
Rain has seen Kevin. But either way, even if we were gonna do a video feed from him, we'd have to do something else because we couldn't record and video chat with them at the same time.
Yeah.
So like the way we record, we'd have to record to Zencaster, which we didn't have going, all that kind of stuff. We did it over Discord, but
nice.
Kevin has like a professional audio setup, so it sounded fine.
It sounded amazing. It was
so
great. Yeah.
all that says, Rain, is you got to fix your audio setup when you're remote because Kevin did it. Kevin probably just plugged into this thing. I think he has one. It was in one of the videos.
I'm sure.
So I think it was in the Disney Channel video.
Oh.
But yeah, this does all the work for us. I'm pointing at the Roadcaster for those who can't see. But yeah, let's clean up all this real animal droppings from the Real Jungle Cruise.
The Real Jungle Cruise
with mousekeeping. If this is your first time here, welcome aboard Trammin, a Disneyland podcast where we talk about the Disneyland Resort through and only through our eyes. Listen to full episodes every Wednesday or topic-only uploads on Big Thunder Thursdays. If you enjoy the show, like, subscribe, comment, and review us wherever you can, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course, Rain's favorite, YouTubes. For a visual guide of the show, that's an old one. Head to Trammin.com to write into the show, find our socials, and request access to our Discord. You can find all these links and lore on Trammin.com.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. As always, you can get a Tiki shirt from Rain's company, Tiki Kingdom, tikikingdom.com.
Oh, yeah.
And you can get some wonderful sourdough bread from bubblinas.com, BUBBLINAS.com, delivered locally and shipped in California by our friend Christine. Both have discount codes, Trammin10, so check those out.
Awesome.
And I believe Christine at Bubblinas just launched a Bread Fairy subscription service.
Wow.
So you can get weekly bread. Go. I don't know the full details of it, but you can go check it out. Bubblinas. and Tiki Kingdom.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Rain just dropped the Jungle Cruise shirt too. So
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
Very convenient timing with today's episode.
Yeah, and people are like, how does he design them? This one was a commission.
Which is great. I forget the name of the artist. Well, we can definitely plug that in there. But he already does like tiki art and stuff like that in the community, and so Rain was able to reach out and get that commissioned. And out of any of the shirts that Rain has done, this is the first one that Anna was like, "I need that." So that was pretty good.
Yeah, there's like something different for everyone. I'm super hyped for the Matterhorn shirt.
Yeah, me too.
Dropping.
Yeah, no, I already got that order in.
Yeah, so that order is in, but they're showing up early September.
Hopefully in time for my birthday, September 10th. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I do have that right now. When is John's birthday?
Let me see if I have that in there. I don't know. I'm disappointed in myself that I don't have that saved.
It's in September, right?
I don't know.
Let's see. Where is he? Where is it? John Harris.
We love you, John. We love you, John.
Yo, when is your birthday?
Oh, he's got to get asked.
The entire Tram fam is gonna find out when you reply.
But for September 10th, I think I'm gonna go over to Disneyland. We'll get into what's gonna happen in the future in a little bit. But
that is a Wednesday.
That is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna.
Lucky you, man. One short of the big time, huh? If you get that reference, the true reference, not the reference of the date, let me know. And little teaser. Tramtober is coming up.
Tramtober.
Yeah, we never got around to the summer meetup.
So no, we didn't.
My bad. It's too hot though.
It is
too hot.
Oh my god.
Kimmy said it's actually chill right now in terms of crowds, but it's way too hot. I can't.
We're reaching the end of the summer tourism season, and it's already kind of slumped anyway. So I mean, if you've been hearing the news about Vegas, it's not great economically.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're seeing kind of the same thing as the summer's fizzling out. So now wait times are going down, things are looking okay. But if you go on an Oogie Boogie Bash night, get ready to wait. Yeah, Oogie Boogie Bash is crowded.
I think it's worse at the beginning because everyone's recording stuff.
Yeah.
When we go, if you just keep it going, we do everything we want to do.
I'm sure.
We do every character, like all the big ones, all indoor, outdoor, whatever, and we do the parade.
Yeah.
And this is our strategy: go see all the characters. At some point, eat. Make sure you eat. Do the treat trails, whatever, and then head to Hollywoodland for the second parade.
Nice.
You got to get there early because of the horse, and then there's a 10-minute gap because the horse is afraid and they got to clean up the poop.
Oh boy.
And then right after that, it's about closing time, almost. Mission Breakout.
Nice.
Or what's it called? Monsters After Dark.
Monsters After Dark, yeah.
And that's it's a 30-minute wait because it is the Halloween ride, but that's not bad, especially because you're locked in, and then you go on that, night's over. You go
I do feel bad because I like Cars Land during Halloween. I think that the overlay there is really fun. When they light the mountains all green and purple and stuff like that. It's kind of sad that Racers is down for that because that's a fun version of the ride.
Oh, how long is Racers down?
For a few months. It's they're repaving the whole track.
Oh.
You got to resurface it. They got scaffolding up right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot going on when it comes to the news, which we're about to get into here. So let's talk about that now.
Last final.
Oh.
Oogie Boogie. Oh, because I didn't mention the strategy for Villains Grove. Just in the middle of the event, or even around the first parade, no one's there. Everyone goes right at the beginning, and then there's no line later. Or you just dress up as people from the Soren spiel, and then the Soren lead, who happens to work at Villains Grove, lets you in. That's what happened to us last year.
That's funny.
We got our costumes are locked in.
Nice.
I
can't wait to see them.
On a whim, we nailed it. And the teaser about Tramtober. We're having Haunted Harris himself. I texted John. I said, John, I'm gonna need a Tramtober episode from you. And then he sent me something right away. He's like, but did you guys already do that? I'm like, John, take your time. Yep. You are the resident spooky person.
Absolutely.
He's going to be inspired out of nowhere. John, I wrote an episode literally in my dream. And then I woke up and wrote it down. So
that's so funny.
Don't you worry. We're going to have some good stuff coming around.
Oh, yeah.
But we got some good stuff right now. We're in the midst of our series on 1955. One more after this.
One more after this. Finally wrapping it up.
But before that, let's get in some news. Got some headlines for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
First up, big one. An early end to enter into this topic. Let's talk about how the DCA entrance from Pixar Place Hotel is closed.
Yeah.
Permanently.
Yeah. Permanently.
Now, I believe this is initially due to construction for the Coco stuff. Or like
it's not on the right side for that. So
but is there going to be just like crap outside? You know, they leave materials out.
Not even that. I think it's purely being closed because of staffing. Like you're staffing it with security and gate people, like, you know, the entrance people all day. And it's only accessible. So this is something that's interesting is like you as a general guest, if you parked in the downtown Disney lot and you're like, I want to just jump into DCA for a few hours. You can't do that through that entryway. You've never been able to. That has only been for hotel access. So they will scan.
I think I've exited there once.
Exiting, yes, you can do. I've exited there. It's a great way to escape the park, or it was. But now it's always been like only for those hotel guests. But most of the people at Pixar Place Hotel, they're not even utilizing that anyway. Or sometimes they'll mistakenly find themselves going into the Grand and using that entrance instead. So even though there's the Pixar Place like entryway, it was underutilized, except for the morning. And then it already closed before park closing. So it wasn't something like, okay, the last World of Color happens, the park's closed, and then Pixar Place guests could exit easily to their hotel. That wasn't even the case. They would still have to go to the Grand. So at that point, you're looking at this sort of like, okay, why are we doing this? Why are we staffing it? It was a Ken Potrick decision to introduce it. He was very focused on DVC and like sort of hotel access. So there was a lot of little renovations like that happened when he was president. Something that I don't think a lot of people realize is that when there is a president of the resort, they have a lot of influence. You think of Paul Pressler and his influence over the 1998 version of Tomorrowland and California Adventure and how that was very retail focused because he came from retail. So whoever's in charge of the resort, they still have an influence on what happens. So I forget the name of the new president of the resort. I forget where he's from in terms of the company. And I need to look that up just to see what direction things are going in. But already at the beginning of his tenure, a lot more refurbishments are happening. And you're seeing things like this that are like little cost cutting. Like, why are we doing this again? Okay, let's simplify it. That was the same thing of when he came in that people were hearing, oh, they're cutting entertainment here or there. Really, it came down to what was wasteful of like, why are we keeping this thing that no one is attending or no one cares about at the moment? Because we could reallocate that. Like entertainment was bloated in terms of its budget, and so it should be reallocated with things that actually matter to the resort or could potentially bring in people.
I think the entertainment thing is a problem right now, though, because there's nothing.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing, like I think Mickey and the Magical Map was pretty full usually, though.
It was good. Yeah.
That was a dumb cut, I think.
That was a while ago, too.
Yeah. And then, the Lion King, I really liked that, but that was like a half. It wasn't as full.
Well, a good example is why don't we have something at the Hyperion? What's going on with that?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about
for
that.
Years,
it's an empty theater.
Yeah,
dude,
you're paying to upkeep. You are paying to upkeep it. It's not like sitting abandoned. Like it's they have to keep it running.
Do you think if Aladdin on Broadway goes away, they'll bring back Aladdin? It's such an easy win for them. That's the dumb thing. It's an
easy win, but at this point, it's whatever happens to Hollywoodland during the progression to Avatar.
But it's weird that even they're keeping Hollywoodland.
Yeah. No, Hollywoodland's staying. That's
which I don't get. Thing. I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
I know. All right. But getting back into it. So DCA entrance is gone from Pixar Place. So goodbye to that. Those guests can, of course, enter in through the Grand and use the Grand entryway, which the one time that Anna and I used that to go in the park, it was very full in the morning. It's like if you're a hotel guest there, it's like you are waiting, 20 plus minutes to enter DCA.
When I stayed there many moons ago, 2015, I think. If not, no, 2016. One of those. I think it was 2016 though. They did not allow non-hotel guests in until 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So there was a long line, but if you stayed there, you just walk right in.
Yeah, which is nice, but it's just getting through that security choke point. That is the problem.
That wasn't a problem before. It was just like, all right, just walk through. Like,
Now it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a big thing now.
Yeah, but otherwise, the guests are still going to have access. The bigger news is that starting January 5th, all guests staying at the Disneyland Resort hotels will receive one complimentary Lightning Lane entry for a multi-pass attraction of their choice. I believe that's once per stay.
So, yeah, the way it works, it's one Lightning Lane entry for only the rides available in the regular multi-pass. So not Radiator Springs and not Rise of the Resistance. Each guest in the room gets one of these. But whether you're staying one night or 7 nights, you get one.
Just one.
Which is like a $10 perk.
Yeah.
And I just took that from, I saw Carly Wiesel post that. I'm like, I'm just going to run with that. Yeah, it's worth like $10 total because the entire multi-pass is like $30.
Yeah.
That's crazy. If it was one per day,
yeah, that would make a little bit more sense.
And the reason we're saying this is as part of this, for those who don't know, Magic Morning used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Which was, they'd switch which park it was.
Mm-hmm. And they still do it like every other day.
But that was 1 hour early entry to the parks. Now, it's called early theme park entry. So this is like the Fast Pass to Lightning Lane rebrand.
Yeah.
Got to make sure people don't confuse it. It's only 30 minutes for one park, early entry. And then...
and it only includes certain lands.
Yeah.
So it's not like the whole park is open. It's like a certain area. Like
and Magic Morning was like that too, I think.
Yeah. For Disneyland, it's normally Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. But Adventureland, Frontierland is still closed off.
Yeah. But now that is completely gone.
Yeah.
So that was the main reason to stay at a Disney hotel.
Yeah.
Although I thought some of the good neighbors had it. I guess not.
No, it was only for Disneyland hotels. Yeah.
The 3. So that's completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
So really, that used to get you either a little snack that you wanted or maybe like 1 or 2 rides, right?
Yeah.
Or you'd get in line for Peter Pan and then maybe get in line for something else. And then that was it. Disneyland was open. Mm-hmm. So one Lightning Lane entry per day would kind of make up for that. Because no one was going shopping in the morning. You do that later. No. So,
but I think one of the big advantages that people would talk about is like, okay, you can go hit one ride, and then if you were rope dropping, you would go over and wait in Fantasyland to go and charge at Rise of the Resistance and try and like get a little bit ahead of the rest of the crowd. And so when it came to rope dropping, it was like, that's actually a little bit of a nice benefit. That's a little helpful. I think the same thing for DCA, that it's like, okay, maybe I can get in the right place to bolt over to Cars Land when that opens, something like that.
Yeah. So if there was this replacement, I don't know if people would necessarily be mad.
No.
Like it wouldn't be as good, but at least it would be like, hey, you still are guaranteed to ride one ride. Yeah. And you can even buy Lightning Lane and this would stack because it's probably just the select experiences pass. So you can use it on whatever you want. You just redeem it correctly. So you can ride Space Mountain in the morning and then book Space Mountain on your paid one if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Now you just get one for your entire stay per person.
It's barely any value. If it was, again, one per day, this would be a much more equivalent. It would still be less than the extra 30 minutes, but it would be better. So this is an interesting one because I'm sure they're going to get a lot of negative feedback from it and they already are of like, why am I going to stay here then? Like, I'll just stay off property and save like half my money.
I saw this sentiment that this is just a couple people's anecdotal observations or whatever, that many of the Disney hotels now are just like corporate bookings.
Yeah.
Like lots of conventions, lots of people just staying there because of this or that. Like they're here for something at the Grand. There's a hotel block. It's a big company with lots of money.
Yeah.
And that the families are staying elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like our friend Nella Monorailing, her favorite is the Westin.
The Westin, I was about to mention that. Yeah.
Well, I don't think the Westin goes above $400 a night.
No, it's half the cost or over half the cost of the Grand.
It's like 3 something, I think, most nights, if not 2 something. The Westin is like an upper mid-tier Marriott.
Yeah.
I'd say it's nicer than a regular Marriott.
Yeah.
It's in the Bonvoy chain.
And yes, it's a modern hotel, but it's probably nicer accommodations than you're going to experience, at least at Pixar Place and the Disneyland Hotel.
And a lot of it has a DCA view.
Oh, yeah.
There are a couple nice restaurants nearby. There's an Italian restaurant in there that was I heard was good. There's Puesto either in there or right next to it.
It's in there, yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have that new brew pub that just opened up across the street from it. So there you go.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've stayed in multiple Westins. I like Westin. Most of them have like the Heavenly Collection. It's like a nice bed. It's comfier than a regular hotel bed.
Nice.
I don't know about all of them, but I at least know the entire hotel in Mammoth comes with weighted blankets on the bed, which is crazy for a hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no point in staying on property in terms of perks anymore unless you've just always wanted to stay there or you do want to be right there.
And the Grand is the only one that I ever feel is worth it just because you are in the park, like you're in California Adventure. Like any hotel that's like that, you go to Paris and they have the Disneyland Hotel that's like built into the entryway. It's like, okay, cool. I can see why you would want to do that. But otherwise, there's very little difference between walking from the Westin and walking from the Disneyland Hotel.
Yeah. The only thing with Disneyland Hotel, you're very close to the monorail.
Yeah.
But you still have to go into downtown Disney. But yeah, you're not quite up against the monorail like you would have been if they had built that other hotel.
Yeah.
That was canceled. That's if you want to hear a lot about that, go check out our episode of the potential of Pandora, our Avatar episode.
With Jeff, yeah.
Jeff's first appearance where he went off the rails.
That was a good episode,
in the best way. Yeah.
He always does.
So go check that out. But yeah, this is an actual thing that like to complain about is not to whine. It's what's going on?
It's a value. It's where's your money going,
now,
you know?
Okay. The park's open at 8, right?
Yeah.
Did they used to open at 9? Am I crazy?
Sometimes they would. It just depended on the day. Like in off season, they
I
would
felt
have
like
that.
it was mostly 9 in like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And because the hour early would be 8.
Yeah.
7 is
but they've
really
been
good.
moving it. Like that's the whole thing is because of additions like Galaxy's Edge, Adventures Campus. Like the parks are larger now. They're handling higher capacity. There's more demand. And you want to open earlier because then it lets you let people start like flooding in so that way you don't get a backup through security, backup at the parking structure, all that stuff, which you still end up having. You know, it's like you go on a busy day and it's like 10 a.m. is a rush to get in the park. It's like the park opened at 8 a.m., you know?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Because 8 is so early.
Yes.
And before that, there's like a line in the structure.
But it helps them filter in because you need the park to like soak up the guests like a sponge. But yeah.
Yeah. So
there's that about hotels. We can talk all day long about the resort and what's going on around with that.
I don't want to keep doing like why Disney sucks now episodes, but like they keep taking stuff away. It's crazy.
I know.
But
people just keep coming.
Yeah, something they should take away. Next headline: one thing can stop us now. Sorry, let me do the one thing can stop us now. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Disneyland now requires you to have your phone fully stored while the ride is in motion. They won't even start the ride if your phone is on your lap. It has to be fully put away. This was a quote. It was someone's tweet or something someone put in the Discord.
Because there was a sign up about it. It's just due to guests, holding them out and dropping them on the ride path, and then the ride shuts down.
Yeah.
And after that happens too many times, management gets tired of it, and now you end up in this place.
That ride goes down constantly,
so much.
And it is because of this, because it opens 10 minutes later.
Yep.
I think actually 10 minutes later.
It doesn't take that much for them to go in, reset everything, get the thing off the track, and then just keep moving.
Yeah, I think it's this kind of thing is you go confirm what the problem was.
Yeah.
And then you say okay, it's good to go, and I'm sure the ride has some reset protocol in it.
Yeah, it's like on Indiana Jones when you see sometimes like you're sitting in a vehicle, it breaks down or whatever it is, and they run out there, they clear the track, and then they just start it up again. So that way they don't have to evac the whole entire ride.
Yeah, so this is it's not broken, it just keeps stopping. And this ride does it a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's built in. It's one of those things of having a modern attraction, having a trackless attraction. You're really going to do a lot with this. I mean, I forget if it was Rise or Railway, one of them where like somebody, like it was like day 1 or 2. It might have been Rise, where somebody had their phone and it fell forward and the vehicle like ran over it or whatever it was. And it was like, oh, great. Here's your, remains, and you broke the, you damaged the vehicle, all that stuff. It's just, when it's an issue that is caused by the guests, they're going to find a solution, and this is it.
Yeah. Do you think Rise is next for this?
I don't know. It's less of an issue at Rise.
People want to experience Rise. They do still record it, but...
Yeah, and I also feel the energy of the attraction, especially the Rise, the Resistance customers are like, get in, come on, just put all your stuff away, let's go. It's
when
a
that
lot
ride
more
goes
than
down, it's
energy.
because there are
Actual
dangerous things
issues,
that can
yeah.
break. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Next headline, kind of, Freddie. What is Imagineer That?
Imagineer That. Okay, so I don't remember this, but in, I believe, the early 2000s on Disney Channel, they had a little spotlight called Imagineer That. And so they had this character who would kind of like showcase, hey, this is what kids have questions about Imagineering. What, how are the parks built? Here's all this stuff. So there's this whole series. And so Imagineering has been doing a lot of activity on its YouTube channel lately with a lot of different episodes, different sort of behind the scenes look at what they're doing. They're being very open about all these expansion plans that they have.
It's weird.
It's like every month there's some YouTube video and then, we're all going through the background and we're like, oh my God, they have this, they have that. And so Imagineer That had an episode and it was all about blue sky and how people come up with the ideas for attractions. And in this week's episode, they had little, like in the background, you could see the model for the Tropical Americas that they're doing in Animal Kingdom, and that has not been revealed yet. Previous YouTube videos had showcased the Lion King attraction going to Paris. There was also blueprints of that shown. So if you really want to see the full layout of that thing, it's pretty much out in the open now, which is crazy. But at least for Imagineer That, it was the Tropical Americas layout as well as the actual model itself. So you could see the Encanto, the casita all drawn up. You could see the temple that's going to be the front facade for Indiana Jones. They also had the blue sky meetings for Coco, for the attraction for California Adventure. They were showing the whiteboard behind them that actually had like this animatronic, this show scene, Pepper's ghost effect. And so people got really excited because they're already talking about this in the way that we assumed, again, sort of taking inspiration from Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean and bringing in a brand new classic dark ride, flume ride attraction to California Adventure. It's really exciting to see.
Now, why was Tom Morrow there?
So that's the whole thing. Is
Tom Morrow 2.0.
Tom Morrow 2.0 was a character who was showcased for Imagineer That. He was also a resident at Epcot in Innoventions. So one of the jokes at the beginning of the episode is, man, I can't wait to go back to my home in Innoventions. And they're like, about that, it's gone. Which is very referencing, like, hey, we kind of destroyed parts of Epcot that you guys are nostalgic for. And it's funny just to have all this brought back. And it's really Bruce Vaughn who intros the episode, and he's the new head of Imagineering. Ever since he came in, he's bringing back all of the stuff that got kind of thrown to the side during the pandemic or when Chapek was in charge. A lot of the people who got let go, a lot of the inspiration and sort of creative spirit is being brought back into the company. And you can see that exemplified by something like Imagineer That. Even though it is definitely designed to appeal to younger viewers, it has that nostalgia for those who grew up in the early 2000s, seeing what Disney was doing.
Yeah, so it's always cool to get more into Imagineering.
Absolutely.
Kind of similar. This is just me. You know that Walt Disney's Disneyland?
Yeah.
Did you know they made a small one?
I didn't know they made a small one.
I saw it at the Orange County Museum of Art.
Oh, that's awesome.
I went and ordered it because
portable.
I'm going to read that like imminently.
Yeah.
But it's so unwieldy. This is just, it's
Nice.
like 5.5 by 7.5. And I'm like,
that's what
oh,
I
okay.
wanted. Yep.
And then I did order the 70th book.
Of
Maybe
course.
I should have gotten in the park with a little discount. But has it been gone?
No, it's been hit or miss to get that.
Yeah, it was like there, and I just put them in the same cart. I'm like, all right, let me just grab it.
Smart.
Yeah.
No, I think you made the right choice. Yeah, I got mine autographed, which is fine.
Yeah, you went like that opening day.
Oh yeah. No, I was like, all right, I'm waiting for the moment and go.
Yeah.
But it's cool. All these coffee table books, all these behind the scenes.
Yeah, I gotta read up on some stuff. Get my history in check with all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so
especially we're in this like new era where it's like they care again. They're trying again. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, maybe it'll make Trammin better.
I hope so.
Because Lord knows the influencers aren't doing the heavy lifting on information. So got a couple things for Walt Disney World that it's just things we're interested in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
Yep. New vehicles. They have the new targets and blasters. They had a whole media event that they did, which had like Play as like the icon for it, which is super funny. I'm like, did you guys reuse assets from the Play Pavilion that you canceled? But in the end, it was just showcasing a bunch of Walt Disney World, like the park news. So yeah, again, Space Ranger Spin, the new vehicle, which looks like, Buzz Lightyear's like chest emblem is like a supersized vehicle.
It's like our vehicle.
It's
with a
hours
with like LCD screens.
Yeah.
So not numbers.
And the score goes above 99999.
Yeah, I think it's like a video screen.
It is so, a video screen.
Good,
yeah.
I mean, good luck with maintenance on those.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad.
Like,
honestly,
LED lights or LED numbers, very easy. I have a clock that was on my dad's nightstand in the 80s. So like,
yeah,
but yeah, the score can go high. It's our blasters. Similar.
So they're not, because it's the same technology they developed for the Shanghai version of Buzz Lightyear, as well as the Ant-Man and the Wasp nano battle ride for Hong Kong, which is like the next generation of the Buzz Lightyear like blaster technology, as well as the targets. So the targets are also like screens like that they can animate. So they still use the laser and the targeting just like ours traditionally does.
There's still the dot in the middle.
And the one in the Space Ranger Spin in Florida, the original Buzz Lightyear attraction, you couldn't actually lift your blaster up. It was attached to the vehicle. So now finally, you can lift up your blasters. It is a modern version of the attraction. Now, since it was the original, my assumption is, this whole refurbishment, this whole thing, it's future-proofing of like, this ride is going nowhere. I think it's interesting that the Disneyland version isn't getting this upgrade.
You're still on Space Paranoids, huh?
I'm very much on board Space Paranoids. Tron Ares, please go watch it.
It's not out yet.
Not out yet, but it's coming soon.
Yeah.
Another chance. I keep seeing ads for it, so I'm like, let's go, Tron. Come on, you can work. They're also re-releasing the original Tron, and they are doing it in 4K, and they remastered it, and they did a really good job on it. They did like a screening at the Academy of Motion Picture and stuff like that. I missed out on that, which is sad. But anyway, that's Space Ranger Spin.
There is something important about it.
Yeah.
The targets light up the color of your blaster to confirm that you are the one that hit it.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So like, oh, I did hit that. It's green. I'm green. My friend's red. It's like, oh, okay, I hit that thing. Sorry if you're red, green, colorblind.
Yeah.
They didn't think that one through. So that is cool. And one little thing about Tron.
Yeah.
So I was a huge fan of Legacy. My friends and I, we were like in senior year in high school, so we were all in. We went to go.
Yeah.
We saw it at AMC, downtown Disney, the day it opened.
Excellent.
And we skipped school the next day. It was the last day before Christmas break, so it didn't matter. But anyone hoping for a 4K remaster of Legacy, it's not happening because it was filmed digitally in 1080p.
Oh,
so you can up-res it, but that doesn't.
It won't. Yeah.
There are only 1,000. Well, I don't know the ratio, but it's 1080 vertical pixels.
I wonder how similar that is to the Avatar remaster that they did recently. Because essentially, from my understanding, is because they redid the original Avatar ahead of Way of Water and released it in theaters, and essentially they re-rendered the entire movie, like all the digital assets.
I've said this for years. They need to do that for the prequels.
Yeah,
because think the prequels. The acting's still going to be ridiculous.
Oh, of course.
But think of how good they can look if you just redo the digital effects.
I think
like it'll take no time to make it look 10 times better.
So a lot of the tools that are developed in AI for like image, stuff, a lot of that has been around already for a long time in terms of image processing. And I feel like the advances that have taken place because of the rise of AI, that could be utilized in the future to do that. Now, there's a problem where upresing can also, do this with AI, and then it just looks terrible. It looks horrible. It doesn't work out well. So it kind of depends. It's a double-edged sword. But that would actually be cool to see. I know remasters are kind of hit or miss in terms of how effective they can be, but yeah, that would be a good one to do. Tron Legacy deserves it for sure.
Yeah, but rip 1080p. When I saw that, I was crestfallen because I'm like, they would have done it just for a little cash grab for no reason.
Oh, absolutely.
But they never did because they...
Well, and I think that's why they did the 4K remaster of the original Tron.
It's film. So,
yeah.
And I also... I mean, digital was different back then. I also wonder if they just did 1080 because they could render everything in 1080.
Yeah.
Because that movie had a year and a half of post-production because the entire thing... Well, there was a lot of practical sets, but a ton of crazy good CG.
Oh man, yeah. Industrial Light and Magic loved working on that movie. Just in terms of the advances they could do with VFX, they already had an article out on ILM because I think it was celebrating its 50th anniversary. And Tron Ares is another project where they were very excited about working on that to do more advances in terms of technology.
Yeah, and we got some more details on the Muppets.
Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets.
There it is.
The guitar is getting some new lighting effects.
It's getting a wrap. We're putting stickers on it.
Yeah, well, and hopefully the lights are real. They're getting the studio scene is going to have the Muppets in it.
Yep,
and then
animatronics.
Yes, they confirmed the penguins. 2 penguins will be animatronic. I don't know his name.
Scooter
will be animatronic. Kermit will be on screen.
Yeah. The rest of them will be on screen.
Yeah, but it is a screen, and it's like a cool 3D effect. It's kind of like a Web Slingers, right?
Yeah,
like
that kind of
the
thing.
Projection is halfway through.
They'll layer it a little bit, maybe. It'll be more advanced than the version they already have with theirs. But yeah, that'll be interesting. At least to finally, have something closer to you instead of it just being a dead set.
Did they confirm the music will be covers? They're Muppet covers?
Yes. So it's going to be Muppet covers of rock songs.
Yeah, which is good.
I think that is the right way to go, honestly.
Yeah, they did not show the loading area?
No, they didn't. So they're kind of keeping that under wraps, and I'm sure that's a budgetary thing too, because this project, out of anything, feels like not the cheapest thing, but it's like we don't really want to spend too much money on this because we have so many other projects going down.
Yeah, I've never been on it, but I've seen the loading area. Little drab. Under LA underpass is what it is.
Very much so. Yeah.
I feel like they can dress up the loading area pretty easily.
Absolutely. Especially with all the props they have left over from Muppet Vision.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to put stuff in there just to reference it. Absolutely.
Yeah. And finally, they're finally redoing Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah.
In Walt Disney World. Ours got a big refresh and track replacement. They
Paris's
never did.
The Disneyland version and the Paris version, they got their major track refurbishments. Walt Disney World version is known as the roughest because it hasn't. And so finally it's doing this sort of year-long, redo of the track and the effects work, and it's finally getting these elements that never existed there. In fact, they're getting whole new elements. So like the Rainbow Caverns, for example, and they're tying it more into the story with Barnabas T. Bullion, Society of Explorers and Adventurers. We'll talk about that one day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see all that effort going into that attraction, especially since everything around it is about to kind of be leveled to dirt and rebuilt from scratch. Stuff that we should be hearing soon at Destination D, which is coming up.
No parks panel.
No parks panel. That's a huge thing that was going on in the community of why am I going here? They do have a Disney Villains panel that's kicking off day 2. And day 1, even though it is a studio panel, I would expect that they're going to do something like talk about Avengers Doomsday and then talk about that we're doing an Avengers ride. So a lot of that is what I would expect, is that it's going to kind of be one big Disney panel rather than a separate parks panel.
Because all these things would have been announced there.
Absolutely.
And they just kept Disney blogging them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Well, and you think, okay, so Avatar Fire and Ash is coming out this year. They really haven't had a moment to showcase that. So Avatar Fire and Ash, we're building Pandora at Disneyland. And not that they're going to do any huge reveals. It's really just going over things that they've already talked about. There is nothing new to reveal, honestly, at least in the pipeline that's coming out next year. And next year is another D23 here in Anaheim. So it's the sort of thing that you want to save big news, big changes for next year. That's when you want to make a splash.
Yeah. That's...
One more thing, just mentioning Walt Disney World, Beacon Barrel is opening up.
It is open.
The Pirates of the Caribbean Lounge that's going to be opening there, almost like an Oga's sort of thing for the Magic Kingdom. And it
does have food.
It does have some food offerings, but not, I wouldn't say full plates. Again, it's kind of more appetizers, more stuff to share at the table than anything else. It's not really a full sit down. I believe it's a 90-minute experience, so it's still timed in there. Lots of show elements and stuff. I'm trying not to go too far into it because I hope to experience it for myself next year. But it's kind of cool to actually see kind of the same level of Imagineering and detailing work that you saw on the cruise ship for the Haunted Mansion parlor. That came out recently, and that a lot of people were like, this is the best Imagineering's done in a long time because it's just so just dripping with detail, the amount of depth that they've done there to kind of create a story. And I think that you can see that right there in Beacon Barrel. So very excited to go experience that.
Yeah, and it looks exactly like the concept art, which is crazy.
That's one of those things of so often Disney gets the flack for you show us blue sky concept art and then you don't deliver, and it's like, well, yeah, because it's blue sky. And then you go over to Universal and they're like, here's our concept art, and it's like the last piece of concept art that they did before they actually built the thing. So then it's like, wow, you just built that in real life. You can't hold them up to the same standard. You can't do that. But this is a crazy example of they delivered on the idea.
Yep. So yeah, that's all we got for the news.
That's it.
It's a lot, and yet not.
No, it's a lot, not because there's nothing really new or revolutionary here. Just little drips of detail. Little things, little updates, nothing to do a full episode on, for sure.
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's good.
Because it's time for Your Right, in which members of the Tram fam write in with corrections and comments, just like you can, at trammin.com/ask, or text me directly when you have problems. Freddie, cue up that corrections music, please. So Jeff texted me many things and put things in the Discord. So first, Fungication? Were you thinking of edutainment?
Yep.
Okay, Fungication is a thing though, but edutainment is what I'm like. That's what they use.
That's the term. Yeah.
But then I said, World of Color, save that water area. I guess it's a theme park, so whatever you need in arbitrary water. And then in all caps, Jeff replies, Kirk, water features provide natural kinetic energy and movement. They aid in dispersing heat, Kirk. Sure. Yes.
That's a true statement.
Yeah. And then he says, I have a counterpoint to the establishment of DCA having all these in-jokes. I see it as like making a tourist feel like a local, like introducing or exposing them to all these hyper niche things, and that's specifically the novelty. I don't know if I agree with him on that.
I see where he's coming from.
I really
California, from a Californian's eye, but it's
they weren't that smart about it. I think they were just like, everyone knows Mulholland Drive is crazy. I'm sure it's been in movies, but that's not a thing people really. It's a street.
It's the whole thing of California Adventure, and you guys really got to go into it in this episode, and I hope to go into it a little bit more. And I'll actually talk about that now. Just like California Adventure in general is a complex topic. It goes through so many different eras of change and theme and trying to figure out what it means. And sort of going into next year, because California Adventure is actually going to be celebrating its 25th anniversary, similar to what we've been doing here with 1955. We're going to talk about California Adventure, so look forward to that starting at the beginning of next year.
I think we got to find a way to not take 10 weeks to do it.
Absolutely. No, we're not going to go that far. But
I think we do it in 3 episodes.
I think you're right. I think we can squeeze it in there. But it is the type of thing, though, where it's like, this is a perfect primer of like, man, DCA 1.0 was weird. But I want to get a little bit more in depth with it, especially with Jeff, who is very passionate about California Adventure. I talked with him about that. He will definitely be on some of those episodes with us as well.
Yeah. What was I going to say? The point, I don't even know if I really explained the point of the title of the last episode, like only in DCA 1.0. It's like these things only could have happened there because it was just so ridiculous.
And a certain time period and everything. And then by the time you open the park, it's already out of date because it's the last example of like 90s extreme, type of thing. It's like by the time you hit the early 2000s, it's like, you couldn't have timed it worse. And really, with its arrival in 2001 and other events that took place, it's like, the whole spirit of American pop culture changed dramatically.
Yeah.
And California Adventure just was not good for those times.
Yeah, I think people forget like the Y2K era.
Oh my goodness.
It was not represented in DCA at all until maybe like X Games, which is like...
Yeah.
But that's a whole other... We're not going to talk about the X Games.
That could be a whole episode. Yeah. Extreme.
Yeah, I'm like, let's not get into the X Games. Let's just do a little bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Glad I was able to teach Kevin Perger some things.
That was awesome, yeah.
Which goes to show how he is a very knowledgeable guy.
Yes.
But that when he does videos, he does have to research them. He doesn't know this stuff off the top of his head.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think that's like, he's super interested in DCA 1.0. But yeah, he doesn't have that California perspective of like, yeah, this is some stupid pun about what's like a Burbank.
Yep.
Bakersfield.
I can't believe
the Burbank one. I'm a little surprised you didn't know. Again, thank you, Kevin. Smart guy, great documentarian. The Bakersfield one, though, talking to him about it when he's like, "What's Bakersfield?" I'm like, "That's totally valid. Yep. Why would anyone no offense
anywhere else
to Bakersfield, but yeah, why would anyone know what Bakersfield is? It's literally on the way to everything else." Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
But Jeff also finished with, if I remember correctly, the American Adventure song is the one that plays at the end of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln.
Yes, it does.
Confirmed by Will and Freddie. Yeah. So lots of fun there. Right in from your boy John H.
Hey.
Yo, this might be a stretch, but maybe the burger invasion was a reference to the Battle of Los Angeles. In 1942, the military, kid you not, shot over 1,400 rounds at what they believed was an enemy ship in the sky. They ended up making a movie inspired by this in 2011. It's awful. Don't watch it.
Yep. There you go.
Was that Battle LA?
Yeah, that was.
I saw that. That is actually about aliens, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But that was the same thing in Battle Los Angeles. Is very often like it's like a UFO, theory that they were seeing something. So you have that image of all the spotlights above LA, like all it's like I think you guys are creating the thing that you're shooting at.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that was it, John. But I like this, right?
My whole thing with the burger invasion is that it is in an area of California Adventure that was themed after Route 66. And how Route 66 connects to the Santa Monica Pier. Like that's the ending of Route 66. And so if you go to the restrooms that are over there next to that kind of goofy Sky School area, they still have it today, right? Where it's still Route 66
still
themed.
Route 66
you still have that in there. And you're like, this kind of belongs over in Carsland, but Carsland didn't exist yet. So here's your Route 66 section of DCA. And that's why you also had the giant, dinosaur, the sunglasses, and you have burger invasion. It's all of this roadside attraction stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the feel that they have in that area, which is kind of clashing with Mulholland Madness because Mulholland Madness is like LA, like Hollywood Hills. But it's all fine. It's a mess.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about the SS Rustworthy.
I thought about it, but okay, you know what? Stop me from doing it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous name. But it was basically upgraded Donald's boat.
Yes.
So it wasn't that weird.
No.
It was just funny. There's a picture of me on there. But I think
it's the McDonald's sponsored play area.
Yeah. But not that weird because it's just an interactive water play area in a theme park, which is super common.
That's normal.
Epic
Universe has one.
I wish I brought up because I have a video of it. I don't remember what it was called back then, but the Paradise Gardens Park Breakdancers.
What?
Yeah, good stuff. And there's like
crazy
the surfboard area where there's a picture of me on the surfboard.
Ooh, mau.
That was one of my favorite segments was the pizza ooh mau mau.
That was insane. When Kevin started singing it, I'm like, this is game. Anna was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, he's singing it. Okay. We're in.
Just go for it. You guys are having a good time. And that's something I'll say about Kevin is like sometimes he'll be in something and he's just talking and he has this low sort of monotone voice. And it's not that he's disinterested in the topic or disinterested in the conversation. That's just how he sounds. But the moment that he gets excited about something or interested, it is so like such a change in pitch. It's so funny to me.
But I think I've described the episode to people as he has a side channel, Defunct Clan After Dark.
Yeah.
Some of it is like Patreon exclusive. But it's where he's just kind of live researching this topic that he knows he knows about half of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, let's just record something. And he's like, hey guys, all right, this isn't my normal he doesn't do the voice anymore. He used to deepen his voice.
Yeah.
He did admit to it and was like, I don't know why I did that, but he was younger. It's fun. But the reason I say that, it's more of his casual style where he sounds like that on Defunct Land because he's recording a documentary with a voiceover. As opposed to just like, all right, silly time.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to his podcast.
Yeah, his podcast is called Where We Parked, and he doesn't release that many episodes. If you follow Kevin's Patreon, which I used to subscribe, I don't anymore. But it was something where you would actually get these episode drops, and it's kind of the idea of him sitting in a car with somebody and going through like some random, crazy, far out, barely park related story. And they're hilarious. Like I can't stop laughing when I listen to those. And they only release like the best versions that they like they'll record 4 episodes in a month, and then they'll be like, yeah, but this one's the funniest, so we'll release that. But yeah, definitely worth listening to that if you want some funny Kevin Perger sort of researching stuff.
We did get another write-in. Speaking of the roadside attractions, Emily says, I always remembered the giant dinos being green. I Mandela affected myself. I was a big fan of it as a child, so I'm surprised I remembered the color wrong. And then, did you say? So who thought it was? Who said you might be thinking of Gertie?
I said you might be thinking of Gertie, and because that's the only green version that I know.
And then JD came out, guns a-blazing, and said
it was green.
It was green for a minute.
It was crazy. Yeah. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, and then you posted a picture.
Yeah, San Andreas Fault.
Did it say Shakes. Sam? It's what it looked like.
Let's see.
Which is, I'm like, that's so dumb if it does.
You're messing with the pun.
Yeah, one more pun because
let's see.
Was it episode? Yeah, Sam Andreas Shakes, and it's like
crazy.
An earthquake pun, but there were milkshakes. That wasn't there initially, I think.
Yeah, but it had to be in the first year or so.
Yeah, it was such a fluid park in the worst way. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a drink stand that was outside of the boardwalk area. So it was kind of by where the tractor stuff was that was there before we got into Bugs Land.
Yeah. So weird stuff.
That's it.
It's always weird. Yeah. Had a grand old time. This here's our Big Thunder topic of the week. Walt Disney's Adventureland 1955.
And we'll start out once again by reading out the dedication to this land, which was a little bit more abrupt than the other ones, just because Walt Disney was running out of time in his original 1955 opening broadcast. But here is adventure, here is romance, here is mystery. Tropical rivers silently flowing into the unknown, the unbelievable splendor of exotic flowers, the eerie sound of the jungle, with eyes that are always watching. Nice, mysterious.
Yeah.
Creepy. Cool.
Yeah, he had a different idea of Adventureland.
Absolutely.
Back in the day. Now it's very silly.
Now it is very silly. And it's so interesting to see the evolution of this land because almost as much as Tomorrowland, like it's one of those lands that changed the most. Like I feel like Frontierland, no matter what, kind of continued with its core identity and just kind of honed it in. Whereas things like Adventureland or Tomorrowland just go wacky directions over time. But when it comes to Adventureland, the best place to start is talking about Walt Disney's True Life Adventures. These were films that were released in theaters in the 1940s. And then this was after Bambi, and sort of in that style and spirit, they were telling a narrative, but using footage of actual real animals on location. So it was actually pretty cheap to shoot. Cheaper to do than animation.
Yeah. So I did not know about this.
Oh, really?
Straight up. Yeah. I don't know about a lot of old like Walt Disney shorts and stuff.
Cool.
I am oddly familiar with Mickey Mouse shorts and like
Interesting.
Donald and Goofy and all that, but not like these sideshow things.
Yeah. And in the evolution of things in terms of Disney going from an animation company to something that did live action films as well. Mm-hmm. This is kind of one of their first forays into that. But these were very successful at the time. Pretty much everything Disney was doing was being distributed by RKO Pictures. And then they abandoned RKO because of Walt Disney's True Life Adventures. Basically, RKO is like, we don't want to do these animated film or these animal movies. And they were so big, Disney's like, you know what? We can do this on our own. And that's what led to Buena Vista Distribution, which is Buena Vista Pictures. So that would be like Mary Poppins, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which was the first live action feature film that Disney really did. That was a traditional narrative.
Yeah. And just a random fact for everyone out there thinking, Buena Vista? Why is it called that? Buena Vista Street? That's literally just where Walt Disney Studios is.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Like, similar to, a lot of the studios that were up in Hollywood at the time would be named after such a simple thing as where they're located. The True Life Adventureland was going to be what the land was originally going to be called after these shorts. And again, these are pretty serious like stories. Like, they weren't played for laughs that often, even though they still had moments of levity in them.
So just another argument for it's always been about the IP.
Yeah.
Where the name of a land, which you think is like one of the most important things, and you think of how simple Tomorrowland, Fantasyland, Frontierland, it was going to be called True Life Adventureland.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Splash Mountain was like an ad for Splash.
Which
is crazy.
It's always been about the IP.
Yeah.
And I love that if you're taking anything away from this 1955 series, it's that. It's like, this is actually like pretty much the same as, like, it's always been the same,
Yeah, I'm not taking it as like, oh, it's about IP. It's that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Where, you can go listen to our Adventureland episode that we did a couple months ago at this point. That's why we changed the order around. But yeah, it's the spirit is almost the same, even though the vibe, you'd say, is different.
Vibe is different. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And speaking of other, like, again, live action elements. So again, I had already mentioned 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. A lot of the propping when they opened the land, and we're going to get into this. Disneyland was a very like haphazardly thrown together thing. And a lot of things came together in the last 2 months, in the last like little bit before opening. I mean, that's why you hear, stories about the cement not being settled and, everything else. So shields and spears were used as propping from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea film. In that, you have a moment where they go to an island and it's inhabited by indigenous people, and they chase them right out, back onto the submarine, and they go on the submarine. And I love Captain Nemo has this whole line that's kind of like, well, you invaded their home. Surely they have the right to invade ours, And it's like that's, I'm like, I appreciate Captain Nemo for that. That guy's keeping it real. But they took those elements, those shields, they're, wicker, very sort of fragile, and they put them up there because they didn't have much. If you go to Adventureland today, it's all like sculpted, very like designed that they can easily paint and keep them kind of looking bright and shiny versus, back in the day, it's like, all right, yeah, these are from movies. We can just throw these up. This is going to be fine. And Adventureland was definitely one of those lands that was a little bit more bare because that was definitely not where we're spending our money. And so it's kind of like, okay, we'll get back to this eventually.
Yeah. And another common theme with the openings of the lands, early days of Disneyland, was Imagineering was just born straight out of the animation studio.
Yeah.
And they often, now it's fine. It's all one big company. But the way it was kind of set up, they were just kind of taking things from Walt Disney Animation Studios and just going like, oh, we have this stuff. The Imagineers are animators, like half of them are, right? Like, just take this stuff from the other building. They're in here. We're not using it anymore.
Yeah.
And like I've also been saying, like, nothing was sacred.
No, not at all.
Walt Disney did not think about these. He did not want anything to be a museum.
There was no, I mean, the archives didn't exist. You didn't have any sense in Hollywood of preservation. The only preservation that would exist is we'll save these props and costumes because we're going to use them in another movie. It's to keep costs down. And Walt found a way to reutilize stuff that he had already paid for, which is great.
Yeah. That's our favorite thing to do.
Now, Adventureland, and even in its earliest version, the kind of main part of it in some maps, basically the entirety of it, was the Jungle Cruise, which again you have already talked about on that Adventureland episode, but we're going to kind of get more into the 1955 lens of it. And so the working title was the Explorer Boat Ride Through the Rivers of Mexico, Africa, Central and South America, and Australia. What a mouthful.
Yep. Really rolls off the tongue.
Absolutely.
Really makes Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and Tiana's Bayou Adventure seem like good names.
Yeah, those are wonderful names. This is terrible. But at the time, they were like, yeah, the all-encompassing name, we'll put that on a giant sign.
This is SEO before the internet existed.
Absolutely.
Like, get all the words in there. They need to recognize these words.
All of them. Okay, Harper Goff was the lead designer for the attraction. They used a Jeep with outriggers, so like an outside, okay, let's make this boat shaped and attach it to my Jeep and just drive it through this mud banked, thing.
Check out Imagineering Story to see the video of
it's
doing
the best. So yeah, good. Absolutely. And they walked through, they had some plants that were already in that area that they were able to keep from the original orange groves. And so you're thinking of like, okay, we got to create this jungle. We got to create this natural environment. Something I didn't write down here, but is a good thing to note. Walt Disney originally intended to put real animals in here. That was his original, back all the way back to the early days. He's like, yeah, we'll put a real zoo basically in here and put people on the boat. They'll go right by the lions. It'll be amazing.
Yeah. Kimmy and I were talking about this earlier. And, one of the problems, animals like to just sleep. They don't follow directions.
Just go on the Animal Kingdom, the Kilimanjaro Safari to find out.
Yeah, go on that at 10 a.m. Good time.
Yep.
We saw a lion roar.
That's awesome.
Which is rare.
But that's one of the interesting things is like, I think that's the most successful anything like that is. It's between that or you're going to the San Diego Safari Park, which if you haven't gotten to that, it's amazing. I think the San Diego Safari Park is it's like, that's what Animal Kingdom's trying to be.
Yeah.
At least in its purest form.
Yeah. And it's just Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Yeah.
That does a great job of everything. Everything else is just, it's the LA Zoo with some rides. I'm sorry. Not the zoo.
Not the zoo. Okay. The original boats with their sort of like red and white, pattern roofs. And then you had the sort of steam stack sticking out there in the back. And it's all, kind of disgusting and scarred and everything like that. That's all sort of inspired by The African Queen, which is a film that came out in 1951. That really inspired all of Adventureland in terms of the vibe and feel. The sort of, there's eyes looking at you everywhere. The jungle is a dangerous place. There's hippos that could jump up at any moment and destroy your boat. That is directly from that movie.
So the boat up there, which is the Walt Disney World boat.
Yeah.
Is that what they look like in Disneyland?
So that was the original one. Yeah. At Disneyland, it had the red and white rooftop there. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll kind of talk about it later, but the look it has now was kind of like the indie.
Yeah, that didn't happen
remodel.
until the 90s, where it kind of got cemented in a time period. And we can talk a little bit about that now, that like Adventureland, when it opened, wasn't a set time period. Like, yes, it's some colonial, port town, type of a thing. But it was not as sort of set in stone in its storyline where when Indiana Jones Adventure opened, they're like, it's the 1930s now. Jungle Cruise skippers, you can't make jokes about LA traffic anymore, that type of a thing.
Yeah, and we'll just say it now. It was a serious journey along the rivers of the world. Yeah, they weren't cracking jokes.
No, and that was Walt's intention. Is like, no, this should feel dangerous. It should feel like you're going up against an actual jungle.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say about that? Well,
seriousness.
Yeah. It was. I think, we don't know, but the time period, let's say it was set in. I think it was just meant to be like you're on the adventure now and in real time. Because that is what some silly adventure boat would look like in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's just what it would be.
It's closer to modern day than Main Street is, for example, where Main Street's all quaint and everything like that. Adventureland feels like, oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I could go to the jungles right now and experience this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early plans had the boats drifting on a moving current. Walt wanted to avoid using gasoline or anything flammable for insurance purposes when it came to the Jungle Cruise.
What a great reason to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And when it came to that type of an attraction, a flume attraction, eventually he would get something like that working when it came to It's a Small World and eventually Pirates of the Caribbean as well. But that was the original intention with the Jungle Cruise. Like, let's just send the boat down the river. It'll be fine. Yeah, we can get this to flow, right? We have the technology. It's the 1950s after all. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did we talk about the squid?
No, not yet. We're just getting to that now. So Walt originally wanted to reuse the squid from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Again, reusing props, which that movie had just come out in 54, I believe. In a boat ride at Disneyland, he wanted to reuse that squid, but he had deteriorated since filming. There was also the whole issue of the squid's tentacles were used with like cables, and so even part of the making of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is like they shot the whole thing during day with the giant squid attack sequence, and Walt hated that he could see the cables, so he's like, "You're going to shoot it again at night, and now it's going to be storming," and so they shot it, and that's the way that you see it in the movie, and it's like pretty convincing. But if you take that giant squid and you put him out in the Southern California sunshine, I'm sure that's not going to look great.
Yeah.
But those ideas would eventually evolve into the submarine voyage for Tomorrowland. This idea also would lead to animated animals and hippos, again paying homage to the African queen. And all of these animated creatures predated audio animatronics.
So were there any animals?
There were animals in the Jungle Cruise when it opened. Yeah.
What were they like?
They're very simple. So it's like you took again a hippo and you like just put him on a rotated arm so he could rotate towards the boat, or it's just a static prop and the ears wiggle, or the alligators and they would be again like on a moving thing under the water and that's it. So it would just be a very simple like single hydraulic. So a lot of the stuff on there was very simple movements, nothing too complex, and what could easily be hidden in terms of like again the elephant's head and its ears wiggle.
Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue level.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
look, ooh, there's your door.
Yeah, or deep cut for all you, the heads on ESPN Zone.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, put them up there, and it's Lululemon.
So
sports
Freddie,
heads.
Who landscaped the jungle?
Oh my goodness. All right. The Evans brothers, which you might have heard their name before. They're brought up in a lot of things, again, like Imagineering Story. They were hired to landscape Walt's home. And that was kind of a like, oh, you guys are good at this. All right, cool. I'm going to have you landscape my theme park. So they were brought in to help landscape Disneyland. Now, when it came to something of that scale and trying to make it believable and it's just piles of dirt, eventually you just start throwing trees everywhere. So there's a lot of documentation of, we'll just throw the trees in here and eventually we'll put a paved path and it'll go with the flow and it'll be fine. And of course it wasn't fine and it led to a lot of headaches. So Walt Disney eventually hired somebody by the name of Ruth Shellhorn, and she was brought in to fix these problems created by the haphazard sort of landscaping. Eventually there was a whole like news article that was coming out about Disneyland, and they needed to they wanted to interview her. And then she moved it up the food chain, and it went up, and it was like it was going to be about the Evans brothers, and she could be in the article as long as she was mentioned as their assistant, even though she was like, I'm the only woman here, I'm getting basically disrespected about that. There's a lot of information about people like her who were working early on at Imagineering, working at Disney, who didn't really get a lot of credit those days. And now finally it's like, oh, you're on all of this documentation of making the thing that we know as, again, the Jungle of the Jungle Cruise. It's like, actually, you were a huge influence on that. So she was responsible for like actually beautifying and making it work. Because there were certain things where it's like, why did you put this tree here? Oh, there was no reason. Okay, cool. Well, we need to move it now. But the Evans brothers were responsible for things like, okay, we're running out of time here. I can't get enough exotic plants in Southern California to make this look right. So let's take this orange tree and just flip it upside down and bury it. And now it looks exotic.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous. So to close off the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
There were no jokes back then.
None at all.
Very serious.
Very serious.
Even though the trees were upside down.
You're on a nature tour.
What is your favorite Jungle Cruise joke?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So my favorite is in the beginning of the ride. When they say, and this is, it feels relatively new because I wasn't hearing it 10 years ago, was they're doing a little safety spiel. And they go, if you drop anything overboard, please raise your hand. I will raise mine as well, and we'll wave goodbye together.
Yep. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Oh man. I do like the new the monkey skipper joke, sort of like some say this job is so easy a monkey can do it, and then they turn around and there's monkeys driving a boat and they're like, in my defense, those are apes. That type of thing. It's a very fun gag to play off of, and I love to see how the skippers play off of them. Really, the best part of the Jungle Cruise today is when you get a joke that you haven't heard before and you're genuinely laughing. That's amazing. You
know what? I'll tie it with two other ones. That sounds dangerous. Let's get closer.
Yeah,
that one.
That's good.
And when they say, when they go, they talk about Schweitzer Falls, Albert Falls, whatever. And I think a lot of people, this goes over their heads. Don't worry, we'll be going over that later.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't realize like it's a joke about going over the waterfall.
Well, and that was that's another thing about the Jungle Cruise is that Walt Disney was very concerned about the inclusion of a waterfall in the way that they had it, because he's like, yeah, we don't want people actually getting wet on this thing. And they're like, oh, don't worry, it's a gag. You're going to take that corner from the very beginning, that was already a joke that they had, where it's like, okay, Schweitzer Falls, you take the right, and oh, you missed it. Oh, okay, great. But it was meant to add that level of thrill and danger. It's like, I don't think people think of the Jungle Cruise as like a thrill ride, but originally it was something exciting and new, and you didn't see that often in
you
parks.
weren't going on. You were going in like the tunnel of love. You weren't going on this dangerous adventure through a jungle.
Yeah. And it just got better with time. I mean, that's the thing about the Jungle Cruise. It's an attraction that time has benefited it so much that like its identity was created through its aging, through people bringing things to it, through the skippers being bored and like, I'm going to start making jokes because I'm sick and tired of just, that's a hippo. Oh boy, danger. Let me shoot at it.
And unlike DCA, where when the trees grow too tall, now Grizzly Peak is not much of a peak. The more Jungle Cruise grows, the more, like, if you look at it from the Adventureland Bazaar, which we'll talk about in a moment, or outside the Disneyland gates, looks like a real jungle. Mm-hmm. It's tall. Like, those trees are there.
Absolutely. There. And it really is a real jungle. Like, it is its own biome now, which is crazy. Really impressive.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Adventureland Bazaar.
Yeah, the Adventureland Bazaar. So this is the sort of this has always been the main retail location in Adventureland. When they opened, featured leather, wood carvings, jewelry, ceramics, and other exotic wares from around the world, and around the world in quotation marks is in whatever we could find in Southern California that looked exotic, and we could throw it in here. Just one of those cool things about Disneyland in the early days of actually making the stores thematic. It's not just, I mean, you think back in the day, products like we have today of like, it's all branded Disney IP that didn't necessarily exist in terms of like a bunch of Disney t-shirts. So the stuff that they had was actually a lot more authentic. Like you'd probably go in there and just see a bunch of Aloha shirts up. Like that was just a thing, it's like, just sell it. Here's a parasol, cool. It's hot out. Here you go.
Yeah. And now they've done a better job of filling that store out with, they're like, oh yeah, we could sell Lion King stuff here and Tiki Room stuff,
Stitch,
Aulani and all that. And then like Quicksilver and Vans for some reason. But
I love how that corner has slowly shrunk over time. I'm like, oh, good.
Very odd. But yeah, it's still there.
Still there, and it's still operating from day one. The Tiki's Tropical Traders. This was a stand in the middle of Adventureland. Eventually would become the Tropical Imports that was across the way, which is now stroller parking, and then finally got moved back over to the other side where you could buy fruits and stuff like that. But originally when opened, Tiki's Tropical Traders was operated by Eli Headley and his family. Now, Eli Headley was known as the original beachcomber, and he actually inspired people like Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic when it came to their sort of tiki houses and palaces where it's like, throw everything up on the wall. Here's a bunch of wood carvings, here's stuff, here's nets, all this, sort of beach or tropical or exotic stuff. And you think this is the same era that Walt Disney would be also going to tiki places. Like, I'm sure Walt Disney went to the original Don the Beachcombers many a time, and that was part of the inspiration of even having Tiki's Tropical Traders in there in Adventureland. But Walt allowed Eli to operate this stand as a vendor in Adventureland in exchange for carving moai, the sort of like tiki statues, out of palm trees that already existed in Adventureland pre-Disneyland. They already had these palm trees there, and they're like, hey, we could use these, as decorations in part of the land. So we just carved those out, and Walt's like, yeah, now you can operate the stand here. You didn't have to pay a sort of rent fee.
What happened to those?
So those original carvings and stuff, I believe it's just a time sort of thing of they needed to move the walkway, they needed to add additions. Those did get completely removed when they were introducing the Tahitian Terrace and eventually the Enchanted Tiki Room. So it's one of those things that just over time got replaced. Also, Eli Headley was responsible for a lot of the carvings that were in Adventureland early on, a lot of the tiki decorations over time. They were introduced through him. He was sort of their contact for introducing tiki to Adventureland. So there's actually like really fun vintage stuff from early Disneyland that was addressed as Tiki's Tropical Traders from Disneyland, and like even tiki mugs and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see tiki predating the Enchanted Tiki Room and Walt Disney's stamp on that idea. And it is because tiki predates Disneyland.
Yeah. I always forget. When did the Tiki Room open?
Tiki Room opened in 1963.
Yeah. It's weird because it's like there was such a short time between Disneyland opening, Walt dying, but then he was working on so many things.
Oh yeah.
Like Florida was going, but he didn't see it. Like it's lots going on. Like, so yeah, it's just interesting to see like how much they fit. We can't do any of this stuff in 10 years anymore. You know?
No, absolutely not.
So
yeah. But you think like, okay, I just need to fill out this land. I got to get something in here. And here's an authentic guy who's like known in Southern California for like just going on the beach with his kids and family, picking up seashells and picking up stuff and like making necklaces out of it and carving tiki totems. It's like, okay, cool. You can sell these at Disneyland now.
Yeah.
And so it's a win-win for Walt because he gets to round out his land. Now in Adventureland, they did not have a dining location, like a proper like main dining location. That was actually sort of we talked about that with Main Street, that one of the locations where currently the Jolly Holiday is sort of had a patio that faced the Jungle Cruise. So you could see Jungle Cruise boats, and that side of the building was dressed up just as you see it today with thatched roof and everything to match the Adventureland style. But it was not its own Adventureland location. You just happened to be able to view Adventureland through that restaurant.
Yeah, there's just always been a kitchen there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And
all the way back to 1955 is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that it's that old.
But don't you worry, just around the corner was Aunt Jemima's Pancake House. So
Oh God.
listen to last week's episode.
Oh boy. But they had the Tropical Cantina, which I believe was on the right-hand side. So it was along the buildings just past the bazaar.
So Bengal barbecue.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, predating the Bengal barbecue. But the Tropical Cantina sold cold drinks and snacks. One of the few non-sponsored dining locations at Disneyland. It did not have a sponsor on opening. Drink names on the marquee included the Singapore Sling, the Lava Boiler, the Mandarin Flip, and mixed tropical juices. Now, none of these would have been alcoholic beverages. Of course, the Singapore Sling being a traditional tropical cocktail that you can find at many a tiki bar. So these were all most likely imitations of like, hey, I'm going to make you something real quick, but here it is. It's just a cold beverage to enjoy, in Adventureland. It's a hot day. And this is kind of like you think this is pre-Dole Whip and everything else, but this goes back to the opening of having refreshing tropical flavors available for guests.
Yeah, it's funny to see just like, I know we keep talking about the whole IP thing, but like back then, everything was branded and sponsored. Yeah. And this is the type of thing we'd lose our minds over these days, which we kind of did with Tropical Hideaway, where it's like, oh, this is just a thing that Imagineering came up with. Now, not super creative back then. They were filling out the land. But if Adventureland today was like, we're just opening the Tropical Cantina and it just sells snacks, everyone would lose their minds and try to figure out the deeper meaning.
Absolutely.
And the lore. And then there would be an SEA reference.
Of course.
Right? But it's just funny how things changed that way of like, back then it was exciting to have the Chicken of the Sea restaurant. And now you'd be like, what is this? Why is this?
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's like, I would see this back then as being like, it's a throwaway thing. We just need something here.
Yeah. Well, and eventually it would be replaced with better things. But it's the type of thing of like Adventureland at its beginning, and this is that's it for Adventureland in 1955.
No treehouse.
No treehouse.
No
very, very bare bones. It's the Jungle Cruise, a few other supporting things, and that's it. That's all we can afford right now. What was
in the spot of Indy and the treehouse?
Just more Jungle Cruise. They shortened the Jungle Cruise a little bit there.
And then
that went back towards the river. They just didn't have any structures there.
So it was just trees. Oh yeah, I guess you said they removed a lot of trees. So
yeah. So you think it's like you didn't have a lot going on in Adventureland in those early days, but enough for an identity to be created and for it to be one of these starring attractions at Disneyland. Like that land didn't require anything else. It's like we spent it all on the big ride. You don't have to worry about everything else. It'll come later. And Adventureland is one of those lands that very early on, and even though this isn't 1955, I did want to set this up. It would receive an expansion around the cost of $7 million in 1962. And this is where the identity of Adventureland sort of changes to a little bit more modern, but also a little bit backward at the same time. So you get Jungle Cruise editions with the gags on there, a lot of different moments. The skippers are now firmly in their era of telling jokes. It is not played out seriously, and it is intended to be a funny attraction that the guests are having an enjoyable experience on this ride. You know, I think after about a year or two, that's when Walt Disney himself was like, I think the Jungle Cruise is a little old hat now. Like, this is not playing well for our audience anymore. And so they adapted it over time. Again, Disneyland is always evolving. It's always changing. It can't just stay a singular thing, even from its onset. Yeah.
I do want to just say, in terms of inflation, $7 million in 1962 is just below $75 million now. So 10 times as much.
It's
10 and a half, a little more. Yeah. So yeah, these days that would be a small, like $70 million would be like I feel like even Grizzly Peak Airfield maybe cost about that much. And they just painted things. No, that probably cost less. Yeah, because they just built a Firewatch Tower, removed the rocket, and painted things.
Yeah,
but still, that probably still cost them a ton because that's just how things are now.
Yeah. So included in this expansion in 1962 was the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. Swiss Family Robinson being another Walt Disney Pictures release.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. It's back.
There you go. And that was another big hit in theaters, big movie for Disney of that era. If you go watch the Walt Disney's Magical Life, you'll see that whole intro where it's like, and live action pictures, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Mary Poppins, Swiss Family Robinson. Like, these were big banner moments where Disney was breaking out on the big screen. They were making a lot of money with it. And then it was like, hey, you can also come down to Anaheim, California and visit this theme park. Hey, look, there's the treehouse from the movie. You can go experience it now.
I heard someone say this when they were talking to someone else inside of Disneyland, but that we had the Adventureland treehouse and they did Swiss Family Robinson stuff in there, but the sign has to say it to justify it to budget, marketing, whatever.
Somebody in the board has to check out.
Say that it was inspired.
IP. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I wonder if. Do you think they wanted to originally put Swiss Family Robinson stuff in there?
I think it was one of those things. Oh, in the new one?
Yeah.
I think they wanted to for the nostalgia's sake of people remembering it. It's also one of those things where, okay, it's not Tarzan anymore. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like, we don't want to go too crazy on the SEA because it's not a high capacity experience. It's not like we can really like do anything crazy. It's like you can't put anything else there. And that was, I think, Imagineering's ultimate justification, because it's like, if you remove it, sure, you can add more queue to Indiana Jones or Pirates of the Caribbean, which arguably would be helpful, but it's not like you can do anything that actually like generates revenue there. And so it's why it's like, okay, cool, this can stay. You know, this can be beautified and sort of made to last even longer, so that way you don't have to spend even more money in the future.
I feel like SEA is still just for us.
Yeah.
Like,
it really is.
The mainstream doesn't know what it is. I'm sure a lot of listeners don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And not for lack of, knowledge. It's just they haven't done an SEA movie. Well,
and the closest they got was like, okay, so you have the Jungle Cruise movie was coming out, and it was very much like, oh, we can start this up, we can put this in here. And the Jungle Cruise movie was a success, but not to the degree of like the original Pirates of the Caribbean, not enough to necessarily warrant the whole studio's attention. And at the same time, Disney Plus, when it was really getting just crazy money thrown at it, was going to do a whole Disney Parks thing. And that was kind of around the same time as Jungle Cruise, where it's like, yeah, the Parks IP, let's throw it out there on the screen. And then it was like, yeah, maybe people aren't interested in that. And I'm like, between Jungle Cruise and Haunted Mansion, it was like firmly like, I don't think you've bought into it. And it mostly with those movies, it came down to quality. It's just you didn't make the right thing.
Yeah,
I think if Guillermo del Toro had done his version of the Haunted Mansion, that would have been a bigger success than what they created.
Yeah, they could have easily just done a Disney thing. They wouldn't have to Buena Vista it like they did with was it Nightmare Before Christmas? Was that Touchstone or Buena Vista? Or the other one? TriStar Sony.
It was not Disney proper, that's all.
Yeah, it was just one of those things. Someone's gonna write in about that.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one last note about like modern day. There was an older woman that was like, oh, I used to love the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse, and someone's like, oh, or mom or grandma or aunt or whatever. No, it's not. It's like, it hasn't been that for years. And then they walk up to him and go, see, it is, and it says it on the sign. I'm like, That's crazy to live before. I mean, it's not that old. Our parents remember it, whatever. But it's funny to just be like, your only frame of reference is that thing, and you just skip Tarzan, and it was there for a while.
Yep.
So,
well, and even Tarzan's treehouse, like it was a reason to save the treehouse. Was like, we can find the budget for this from Tarzan and from marketing of Tarzan. So like very often it's the Imagineers and park management that's like, we need to find a budgetary reason to get this taken care of so it doesn't fall into disrepair and fall apart forever. I mean, submarines, for example, which were closed for a number of years before Nemo took over. It was like, you got to find something to justify it. But yeah, going back to the 1962 reimagining, this was also, you know, I'm gonna come back to this in a minute, but we'll do the Tahitian Terrace, which was the first like, oh, it's a sit down dining location. We can kind of do like a little bit of a luau like thing. You know, we can have performances in here. We can have you know, Asian food that's featured at Disneyland, so it's not just all fried Southern food. You know, it's like we're gonna add some variety here now to Disneyland. On sort of a negative note, this is one of the very few locations that people of Asian descent or Polynesian descent could work at Disneyland. It is again, casting at the time was very restrictive in terms of, oh, you ethnically look appropriate for this location. Cool. Okay, you can be featured there. Yeah. That was just how it worked at the time in the 1950s.
Yeah, it's the double-edged sword of Walt Disney wanted to get it right.
Yeah.
But it was also exclusionary. It was like, we hired Native Americans, but only to dress up as Native Americans.
Yeah.
So
otherwise, we're not going to hire you to go work at one of the other restaurants or work our rides. No, absolutely not. Yeah, that's a little bit of the problematic side of it. Sunkissed, I presume, which is also, I believe, a part of the Tahitian Terrace, was again a tropical sort of stand.
So I didn't realize that that's a reference these days.
Yeah,
the Dole Whip,
I presume, is referencing that, which was again that location.
R.I.P. to the beautiful sign, dude.
Yeah,
I sent it to you guys.
I know you did.
There used to be a beautiful sign that said Dole Whip, I presume. And then Dole was huge, the word. Yeah. And like, I presume was tiny. And now there is just a straight up Dole logo, and then it says whip. Anyway.
Terrible. Yeah. No, Tropical Hideaway has kind of gone downhill in certain ways. Still good in others. Yeah,
it's too popular now.
It's too
full. It's not a hideaway, and it's not chill.
Definitely not chill. Well. No way it's chill. And now going to the end here, something I did want to bring up, and I thought this is a part of the 1955, original, but the Big Game Safari Shooting Gallery, which is there in Adventureland. So they threw that into one of the facades that they had there that didn't have anything before it. This is, again, one of those lead pellet shooting galleries, which means every single time they shot off those lead pellets, it would chip the paint and damage the props that they were shooting at. So Disneyland maintenance would have to constantly go and repaint the thing and fix it. At the time in the Big Game Hunt, you were shooting different animals and that would now be considered like endangered species, something that would kind of be a little bit, we're not sure about that. And the souvenir toy for this, you had a gun with a viewfinder, and you could actually find this on one of the sort of sales they did of like vintage props from Disneyland. And in those viewfinder slides, it's like, okay, cool, a zebra and a lion, I'm shooting at that. And then, the native peoples. And I'm like, wait a second.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Okay. That's
forget racism.
Wild.
It's just like, sorry, that sounds like the community line. I can excuse racism, but I draw the line of animal cruelty. But what I mean is like, forget even like who it is. You're just like, we're just shooting people. We hunt people. Like, what?
What are we doing? Yeah. Like, you get to a certain point and you're like, I get that this was designed for a white middle class Southern Californian, Orange County Republican type of, consumer
I don't
base.
even think that was a thing back then.
Not really,
the Orange County
also,
Republican. It was just,
Reagan's,
yeah,
it was a thing. But it is the sort of like just white middle class, like American. That is the designed target audience for the time. And
if you're mad that Freddy's saying this, go to YouTube.
Yeah,
we're good.
Yeah. Hi. But it's the type of thing where you're like, really, guys, like, come on, we can do better than this. Even in terms of like, travel to these far off exotic places, go appreciate other cultures. That's cool. That's great. That can be good. Then there's a whole conversation about tourism to places like Hawaii and stuff like that we could get into. But it's very different when you're just like, let's just go shoot some people. So anyway, that didn't last forever, obviously, but it is one of those sort of, how did that get approved? How did that was definitely not like a Walt pay grade thing, but somebody at the park level was like, yeah, we can do this. We can sell that. That'll be great.
Yeah. Very, very odd.
All
Yeah,
right.
like we said, Tiki Room wasn't even around until a year later, although I assume it was kind of part of this.
I'm sure.
Like-
Yeah, they were setting up the spacing of it.
Mhm.
This is already in mind by that time. So 1963, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, taking all of the lessons that they learned in developing audio animatronics and bringing that officially into the park. Those are the first examples there of audio animatronics.
Yeah, but in the original the 1955 original,
Yeah.
not much going on.
No tiki
in
birds.
Adventureland,
Yeah, no treehouse.
But, you might think these days, I mean, we love Jungle Cruise, like, oh, that's all they had. Back then, that was a big deal.
It was. Yeah.
So-
No, that was a e-ticket attraction. That was a big thing to go do. Very popular. And it's crazy to just kind of look at that land, and because it has such age to it, because it has been put in a certain era, and it looks so authentic and it feels so real to what it is, and sort of this exotic, we're going to go travel to these places and we're going to go into the wilds, with all these animals and things. It's like, it feels like it's been there forever. It feels like that's how it was. And the truth is, it really wasn't. And it's evolved over time, and it's gone in wacky, weird directions. But I really think it is something to be appreciated, that eventually, like, I'm glad it exists as part of Disneyland. It's always fun when you're walking in there and you decide to take that little like zag off to the left and find yourself going down some tropical river.
Mm-hmm. So, that is our Big Thunder topic of the week.
And if this is your final stop,
Thanks for tramming with us today. And if not, it's time for We Have It So Good, where we in the Tram fam talk about what makes our Disney trips so special. Send us your highlight of the trip, something new you tried, or a food review on trammin.com/ask. We did get a write-in from Roger S. Great job on the DCA 1.0 podcast. Enjoyed going down memory lane and, of course, learning things I never knew. I was fortunate enough to attend a preview day prior to grand opening. We had a tip by a cast member not to miss Soarin' over California, and to this day, that is still our favorite ride in DCA. We left that day wondering why there was so little Disney in the park.
Mhm.
And he ends with, thanks for your continued support of Christine's baking endeavor. This is Christine's uncle, Roger. Shout out, Roger S. You're a real one. Yeah, man, imagine going to that preview and just being like, he just kind of left it with so little Disney in the park. Imagine leaving that preview and just being like, what
is that?
That Soarin' thing was great, but what else did we just experience today?
Well, I feel like Soarin' was the one thing that cracked. It was the one thing left over from Disney's America that they already knew this is going to be a success. This is going to be a highlight. Man, yeah.
Yeah,
I actually have a jean jacket in my closet that's like from the preview of DCA, and on the back it has a leather embossed like version of the poster of the Sun Wheel. I'm like, that's awesome.
That's not the one you tried to pawn off on me, right?
No,
that
not
was a
that one.
Letterman.
That was a Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
I went through a whole pandemic era. Like, oh, cool. People are emptying out their closets. Let me just scoop some of these.
Yeah. We have a. You're right. I'll put it for Rain because it has to do with DCA 1.0. You're right, from Kirk L.
There you go.
Shout out. But Freddie, one final opportunity to guess John Harris's birthday. Because he did
message.
He did message.
September 23rd?
We're just the fakest friends. October 21st.
Hey, oh my gosh.
So we got some time at
No
least
wonder
to
he's
get
spooky.
Yeah. October 20. We're never going to forget now.
No, we're not.
So Tram Fam, write it down right now.
October
in your
21st.
calendar. October 21st, John Harris's birthday.
Got it.
At Haunted Harris on Instagram.
Yep.
We'll have him on around that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll do the meetup and all that.
The fakest of friends.
Yeah. you know what? We became friends with him.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with him. I think after his birthday last year.
Yeah, that's
so
fine. So it was a
so we
little
haven't
less.
experienced a John Harris birthday.
Yeah.
We have not yet celebrated a birthday of his. So yeah. I have not been to Disneyland But Freddie, you got anything? I'm sure you've been in and out of there.
I haven't really been in the parks.
You've been busy.
The heat.
You've been busy.
I've been very, very busy. And I will bring this up. So my wife and I managed to join the crew of the Lucky Tiki, which is original locations over in West Hollywood on top of Tail of the Pup. It's a little speakeasy. Pretty easy to figure out though. But amazing tiki bar in LA. Probably one of the best there. I think it's interesting. Each tiki bar in Los Angeles has its own identity. So it's kind of hard to rank them, but there are a ton that are also more dive bar-ish. I think of the original Tonga Hut in that example. Even Tiki Tea is another popular one, but it's super small. It's you really can't fit that many people in.
What do you know about Tiki No?
Tiki No I haven't been to yet. I think it's interesting from what I've seen, and I need to go.
And my friend
hard
Gene
to get that far into
there.
North Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's more Burbank.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It's far, but Burbank's not a nightmare.
It's not impossible.
Yeah.
Especially now with the commute that we're doing. But we didn't just, go over there for a little bit. We were training at Lucky Tiki 1 for a few days. And now we have officially finished finally our soft opening for Lucky Tiki 2 at Highland Park. And so you can follow that on Instagram. You'll see our hijinks as we pop up there. I love running around delivering amazing cocktails to people. But again, it's soft opening, so it was friends and family. They have yet to post the official sort of, hey, here's our link to come and visit. But definitely drop on by when you get a chance.
It is at Highland Park Bowl.
Highland Park Bowl. It's inside of the oldest bowling alley in Los Angeles.
I have bowled there. It is actually cool.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Awesome.
It is hipster, but they did a good job.
Nice.
You step outside though, and you're like, "Where am I?
What's going on?"
I am in
here?
Tumblr.
I mean, the other day there was a dumpster on fire, so it's all
that's
fun.
not what I meant. I just meant it was very hipster when you walk outside. But sure, yeah, dumpster fires.
That's my experience of everything in Los Angeles. I'm just what am I going to see today? I don't know.
Now, just to confirm, that one time we went to downtown was your first time in downtown?
Yeah,
wild,
just wild. Thanks,
and you saw it all, dude.
I saw everything. I really lived that night.
You smelled it all, too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't there for the almost stabbing you
almost stabbing
on the subway.
Yeah. Los Angeles,
Underground.
baby.
Yeah.
Always an adventure.
We love LA.
Really though, really cool to work at a tiki bar. And especially one that's brand new and is people haven't discovered this yet. There's a lot of cool things that we do in terms of the show there. There was a lot of detail and love put into that bar. If you are a part of the tiki community we're excited about, definitely give it a follow and definitely drop in because I do think it's probably going to be LA's best tiki bar for a while until whatever the next thing is. Just in terms of the amount of care taken. They've taken all the lessons they learned before and brought it into a whole new place. So yeah. Yeah,
because original Lucky Tiki, not much of a show.
No, not much at all. It is just an intimate little tiki, place. And it what I love about Lucky Tiki as a thing in general is it is a perfect combination. I mean, it is born out of the revival of tiki in the early 2000s, thanks to Beach Bum Berry, but it's also kind of bringing back and being nostalgic for things like the original Don the Beachcombers and the original tiki bars that existed in Los Angeles. Whereas some of the more modern or some of the older places have kind of fallen to disrepair and then been revived over time or have kind of strayed from the path in certain people's opinions. So it's one of those things of it's nice to see a tiki bar that really feels authentic to tiki.
Yeah. Excited to visit.
Definitely I'll hit you up to drop on by.
Way easier to visit Highland Park than.
But that's exactly what Ann and I were like. Okay, cool, we can get a job up here, but is that really worth the commute? And Highland Park is yeah, we can make this work. So that'll be fun.
Why don't you take the train, man?
The timing isn't convenient because sometimes you're going to get off work and you're it's 1 a.m.
I don't. Yeah,
there's no train.
Yeah, how many stabbings do you want to witness on a train? A man can only witness so much.
Yeah, and then you don't trust trains anymore. What is life without trains? All right. But that is pretty much all I've been doing. So I have not had a chance to visit Disneyland. Again, planning to kind of do that around my birthday. I really want to go to Trader Sam's and experience breakfast at Trader Sam's. I want to do that.
Yeah. I've heard that brunch at another tiki bar isn't really the best. So Trader Sam's probably the way to go. I want the Loco Moco burrito, despite how dry everyone says it is.
Oh yeah,
everyone says it's dry.
Try it.
I'd probably look. When you take a burrito, you give it the little squeeze to get that air pocket, and then you pour whatever they gave you in there.
Oh
you know? That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's
teriyaki sauce.
That's my fix for you.
There. Yeah.
We need the mushroom gravy, dude. R.I.P. Did you ever have the Loco Moco Bao at Tropical Hideaway?
No, I missed out on that.
Dude,
I didn't know they did that.
It was ham and potato. They say there was egg. I don't know if I saw it. It was like cubed ham, but like it was meaty, and then it came with a like.
Why is that not still
meat like? But I don't think there was meat, like hardcore mushroom gravy that you'd pour all over it, and it came with the bao, and it was the best one they ever did. They started out with a bulgogi beef potato bao, and this was 10 times better than that. So R.I.P. Loco Moco bao. I don't know why the pork one right. What do they even have right now?
It's just pork.
Yeah, but there's
like a standard one. There's like a spicy one.
There's lime chicken, which is not that great. The veggie one, and then it's that type of pork. Hold on, let's just open up Tropical Hideaway. Why are we guessing?
Well, we can just open up the Disneyland app.
Wait, where's the baos aren't on here?
Oh, they've canceled the baos.
No, did they?
No.
Seasonal grab and go Maui style.
It'll just tell you it's a thing. Yeah, it won't tell you what they have.
No, they have like everything else.
They ran out of the bao. They took it out of the app.
That's Freddie. I'm concerned.
Oh no, he's having an existential bao crisis.
This is not good. This is not good. Wait.
Honestly, where is my Loco Moco in Adventureland? Can I get one, please? That would be amazing. You have enough kitchen space to make that happen, please. It's a request.
I'll have to report live from the parks one day, but I don't see baos on here, and that's not the best.
But yeah, I definitely need to drop in and do that. I kind of want to check out the new Magic Key Lounge menu, but honestly, there's not enough that excites me. Yeah. And the further they get away from the DCA puns, the less interested I am. At that point, I'll just go to the Wine Country Tutoria, because last time I went, it was amazing, actually.
Stephen F. did say that it's good despite what I say. And then I said, what do I get? And he's like, well, I'm vegetarian, so the aglio olio. I'm like, everyone tells me to get the friggin' noodle with oil on it. Like, I guess, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's the thing is that you're competing against so many other good or great things that you'd rather spend your time on. And that's kind of how it ends up being.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It does look like it's
pizza time.
Time for one last bite. What's beyond the O line for you? What are you looking forward to? Possibly not baos.
Not baos.
What are you actually going to do?
Oh, goodness me. I really, what I need to do is I want to walk around and I want to see like what's new on like food menus and stuff, because especially now that we've entered the Halloween season, I'm sure that there's a bunch of stuff that's dropped. Trader Sam's in particular is going to have their new Halloween cocktails that are out. So I got to go try those. I don't know what's on the Halloween menu, because often they have a secret menu item. And I think last time it was the Loco Moco Burger. And I wonder what's on there now.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the Oogie Boogie Burrito.
Ooh.
At Studio Catering Company.
Oh, yeah.
It's got Takis in it. So we'll see how that goes. That, and there's a chicken pot pie curry bowl, something in the bread bowl. Sounds good too at Aunt Cass. Everything else looks fine.
Yeah.
Tiffy Luna did say that the ube Mickey waffles are good.
Oh, wow.
From Schmoozies, and that she sent me this. The hack is to go get the ube ice cream cozy cone in a cup and then dip the waffles in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Pro gamer move, right?
Definitely
there.
with that one.
Yeah. So with that ube, wait, what do I know? Oh yeah, I make you say see you in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, so normally I say see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still doing that. One last one. And
last one. I'll see you in the future.
Yeah. See you real soon. Bye.
Thanks for traveling with us today, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit to the Disneyland Resort. Please lower your head, watch your step, and exit to the driver's right-hand side only.